I'm gonna give you some of the best exercises that you can utilize to improve your shoulder mobility, and we're gonna start right now. So a lot of athletes that are strength athletes that bench press a lot, that do a lot of overhead pressing, that just do a ton of big time lifting, we're really hypertrophic in our shoulders, lack shoulder mobility, okay? And even athletes that are gonna be baseball players, javelin throwers, quarterbacks, a lot of times they lack mobility in their shoulders because they lack stability in their shoulders, okay? So they might have that passive range of motion, but they don't have the stability in there. And so we need to improve our overall mobility by improving our range of motion and our strength throughout that entire range of motion. So we've got to focus on all of these key aspects as we're trying to open up our thoracic spine, our lats, and make things actually flow a little bit easier. And that takes us right into our first key exercise, which is gonna be a shoulder dislocation, where we put together a dowel rod that's the exact technique size of a weightlifting bar. And so we've even got little notches here on our to put our hands. And the goal would be during the shoulder dislocations is that I'm going to lead to trying to get this bar back behind me in multiple different directions. And then as I warm up and loosen up more, I can bring my hands in closer and closer and closer to improve and wake up my entire upper back. And then that's gonna be that first exercise to really ignite your shoulders and lead to better mobility throughout the rest of this workout. Okay, so we've gotta remember too, one of the biggest traits that I've learned with athletes is that they don't really like doing mobility movements. So one thing that we can do is do mobility exercises and sort of pair them with strength movements that are very, very similar. So in this case, what we're gonna do is a reverse grip. I call them miracle grows, okay? You've probably seen this in other videos, but we're gonna do a reverse grip dowel rod miracle grow, okay, to really open up our lats and our upper back, and then we're gonna superset that with a lighter traditional dumbbell miracle grow. So the whole goal here is thoracic extension. Now, I wanna try and balance the weight here on the dowel rod, and I'm gonna come back. My head's gonna be almost completely off, okay? I wanna balance that plate, come back. Oh, I'm so tight. Try to get nice and deep here, and you're gonna feel that right around your shoulder blades and back up. Okay, so we can go 3 to 5 passes here, nice and deep, and this is gonna help with our overhead mobility. Try and keep those elbows in. Mine are flaring out because I'm really tight. Oh man, I can feel that pretty bad. One more here, okay? This is really good, okay? Try and keep those elbows longer than mine are currently, and you're gonna feel that even into your rear delts and your traps. Wow, that was good. Okay, so now you can rest about 30, 40 seconds, and then what we're gonna do is get into a weighted miracle grow. So I want my palms open here, okay? Doesn't have to be super crazy, and I wanna see elbow flexion, okay, elbow flexion, and those elbows get back behind the ears. Deep stretch where you felt that in your rear delts, in your upper back, and you might even have a little bit of a pop in your sternum, a pop in your upper mid back, right inside your rhomboids, okay? And you can do 6, 7, 8 reps. Okay, I'll get one more here, and then rest about 2 minutes, and then head back into that dowel rod stretch. 2 to 3 passes through this, and you will feel really, really, really good in that upper back, and it's gonna help improve your shoulder mobility. Okay, so the next group of exercises that we're gonna do a prone lift off. So I'm gonna be on my gut. This movement is extremely hard. So for me, it's really hard. So I'm gonna lay on my stomach, and I could either be on the floor or on a bench here, and this is where you're gonna see how pathetic I am, okay? So my goal is to get this above my head, okay? Get it above your dome, here. And you're gonna feel that in the middle of your back, into your rhomboid, and even you wanna try and think about flexing, almost like you're holding a fart. Okay, so you're gonna be flexing in your belly button into the bench. Ooh. Ooh. 2 more. And one little trick here. Oh my gosh, I'm so tight, is that if you can't even move that dowel rod, and I probably should just do this, you can do with just your upper body. Now, again, a lot of meatheads are like myself, okay? We don't like doing mobility. I like to pair mobility movements with simple strength training exercises. So I'll take that, we'll do those prone lift-offs. I'm gonna grab some dumbbells here, and I'm gonna demonstrate Y's on the incline, okay? So this is a movement that will help contribute to waking up our upper back. So we're here, I want thumbs up, right? Palms facing each other here. Try and get past the ears, slow eccentric. 5 to 7 reps. Slow eccentric. 2 more, and you're gonna feel these even in the lower trap. Like real low trap. Ooh, so 2 to 3 sets. That's gonna improve that overhead stability, that overhead strength, and that's gonna help improve your overall shoulder mobility. Okay, so the next movements that we're gonna utilize to improve your overall shoulder mobility, okay, we're gonna take actually a little bit of 2 strength movements here. I like to utilize an empty bar for rotating barbell press. Now, what I'll do here is I have my empty bar, okay? I'll stand here, and if I'm facing forward, I'll rotate almost to 90 degrees, press and pause. Then I'll come back, almost to 90 degrees, press, pause. And I want to feel even my feet being more active, because this is going to help coordinate a little bit more. Just being closed chain here, standing, is going to actually help open up that upper back. Now we're going to rotate and press, okay? Now, I'm gonna superset that, and you're gonna feel that thoracic rotation pretty substantially if you struggle in that position. The reason why I like to do this prior to the next movement is the next movement, you'll see kids, especially because they're sitting all day, struggle with that trunk coordination, okay? So what I like to do is a Z press. So pretend now, if I was using our squat rack, and that's typically how we do a Z press, is we'll take a bar out of the squat rack while we're seated and we're upright with our posture here. So what we're gonna do is the exact same thing. Now, I would do that with my Z press grip. I want to squeeze in my gut, pretend I'm taking that off of the rack, right? I'm here, and now I'm doing that strength movement, and I want to pause at the top and squeeze in my belly button and the mid back. You're going to feel that right inside your shoulder blades. And what you'll see is that if you didn't do the rotating presses first, you'll see kids sort of fall back, they'll press, and they'll fall back like this. They might fall over because they lack that trunk control. So try to really open up their upper back using the rotating presses with a dowel rod, with a 10K bar, 15K bar, and then use the Z press to imprint that same position, because now they're gonna have a little bit more load on the bar, and they're gonna learn how to contract their gut as they're working through that entire movement. Okay, so this shot is brought to you by how many barbells can we put in one shot that we're not actually going to use. The last thing that I like to do if I'm doing a hybrid mobility workout for my shoulders is a simple barbell down dog, and I'm going to show you another variation of this. So I'll grab here on a barbell, and this could be maybe a little bit lower, almost in between your sternum and your belly button. Okay, so my sternum will be right here, my gut's right here. And what I want to do here, keep my arms long, and I want to stretch my lats and almost get to the point where this feels so good. I get my head down through, and my head is in line with my hips, okay? And you can do, 4, 5, 6 passes. We'll go one more here and try and really try and lengthen that position. Now, I'm gonna show you on the box something slightly different, where we're gonna use a dowel rod, and we wanna have almost those elbows out slightly. So we're gonna use our dowel rod here from Garage Strength, get on the box here at this position, and we can do something similar, okay? Come through, okay? And I would actually be aware here is that if you have somebody who is, a little more hypertrophic in their upper body. One reason why I don't really like doing that for myself is that sometimes I feel like I'm gonna black out, because I start to feel like I'm choking in my pecs because I am so tight, and I'm not joking about that. I'm gonna grab this dowel rod again. What I like to superset that with, because now I'm working on that overhead mobility, I've done everything else to really set up my upper body. I want to do, so this would be for me, we've got our notches here for where the rings would be on the bar, okay? So if I go around mid-grip, go right around mid-grip, what I can do, this will be hard because there's no load, I have to really retract my shoulder blades here, is focus on just that narrow overhead squat position, okay? So my shoulders are really gonna be active as I'm holding that isometric position. Now I'm gonna put the dowel rod down, and I wanna try to go even closer. Here, holding the bar over my hips. Oh, your traps, rear delts, everything that we've worked on now is really gonna be firing. I'm gonna do 2 more. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Now, my upper back's lit. My shoulders are a little bit more mobile. And I think a lot of these movements you can do 2, 3, 4 times a week. Try to pair it with some strength exercises just so you stay a little more in tune and you're a little more motivated to do that mobility. That's a big issue here, is that a lot of people just don't like doing it. If you use those other exercises that we provided, you're gonna enjoy that mobility more. And if you need a program, click on the link down below, head over to garagestrength.com. You can pick up our mobility program for athletes. Until next time, guys, peace.